All this week, I've been just doing calculations to figure out if this bike is going to be rideable. I want to figure out gearing and how I'm going to hook the motor to the transmission to the rear wheel. And what I'm going to do is use motorcycle chains for both. And what my constraints are is the engine idle is 1,000 RPM. The max torque is at 2,600 RPM, and the maximum speed of the engine is 3,600, which is quite a bit different than both the Harley transmission, which has roughly a 6,000 RPM redline, and the Tiger motorcycle has around a 9,000 RPM redline. So I want to make sure that, I'm curious. I want to make sure I can gear this thing correctly. And then also I want to know how fast it theoretically could go. And then I want to see if I can get this gearing to hit the maximum torque at 2,600 RPM at 65 miles an hour, which is usually the most efficient and it's usually the most efficient speed of the engine. So I did some research and I found some constraints here. Sprockets available. I don't want to manufacture sprockets. I want to just buy them. It'll save me a lot of time. The rear I can get a 40 to 48, and this is going to be a chain. This Harley transmission had a chain primary drive and a belt secondary drive. I don't know what you call that, secondary drive, but I'm going to convert it to a chain because the belt won't fit between the frame and the wheel. And I've found that I can find sprockets between 21 and 25 teeth there. For the primary chain, I'm limited to, or what I'm going to use from McMaster Car is a 30 tooth chain. And then again, for the front, I can find easily accessible and cheap 21 to 25 tooth sprockets. So with that information, I can use a nice little formula and then plug in a bunch of different sprockets and figure out what I need to do and what's available to see if this is plausible. So I've decided on, for the primary, a 21 up front and a 30. That's a 1.43 ratio. And then I found a 23 that I like, and I'm going to have to get a 47. There's a 43 on it now, which won't work at all. And that gives me a total ratio of 2.917. So I'm just going to do this max torque calculation for RPM. So I've got my little formulas up here for RPM, and I want to do this formula here. So I'm going to plug in miles per hour, 65, the product of my ratios, which is 2.917, times this wonderful constant, 336, which is basically just a mile divided by pi times 60 in inches. And then divide it by the rear wheel diameter, which is 25.3. That gives me 2520. So 2520. The target was the target is 2,600, but this is close enough. And then my target for first gear would be idle at 8 miles an hour, which seems to be pretty normal for the rest of my bikes. And when I calculated that out, I got 1,005, which is perfect. And then just for fun, Theoretically, if the engine could get up to 3,600 RPM in top gear, I would have a theoretical maximum speed of 93. So I don't know if there's enough power to do that, but it's at least a theoretical. So that's it. It looks like it's going to work.